So I'm hearing that Americans are being taken hostage now down in Mexico. Uh, and stuff is still going on. I'm hearing Trump might send in the military to handle this. This is getting wild.
So, Fox News alert: Americans in Mexico have been given the shelter-in-place order as the country descends into violence following the killing of the notorious cartel boss El Mencho by Mexican forces. The White House confirming that the U.S. provided key intelligence to this operation. Former acting DEA Administrator Derek Maltz is warning Americans in the region are at great risk, and he joins us now. Derek, it's good to see you, my friend. Explain to the audience who aren't familiar with him who El Mencho is.
So, LJ, thanks for having me. It's a great day for Americans yesterday. The hockey goal, the end of El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the most wanted man in the Western Hemisphere, is now dead. And that's because we have strong leadership in our country, and the Mexican government has stepped up their game. El Mencho's been flooding the country with deadly drugs for many years. If you look behind me, you'll see all the dead Americans, the dead children over my shoulder, and they're working with the Chinese criminal networks. He's a huge national security threat, and I'm very pleased with the efforts both in America and in Mexico, right? So you have cartel operatives all over America that were let into this country with the wide open border, and they've been here trying to, get our kids and our young Americans these dangerous drugs. So I'm very, very pleased with the efforts, LJ.
So the president's action has caused a massive revenue shift for the cartels. They have 3 operations. It is people crossing the border and they pay a fee to the cartel. The drugs crossing the border, that's more money. And then the human trafficking. The White House shut that down. Now, there are still some Americans that are traveling to Mexico. Is that safe, Derek?
I wouldn't go.
Well, let me just go back to one thing to make it clear. President Trump, before he got elected, said placing the safety and security of Americans would be the top priority, and he's a man of action. So to answer your question about the Americans, no, it's very dangerous in Mexico. It's been dangerous there for many years. Right now, this is a wake-up call for the world about the treachery of the Mexican cartels. That's why President Trump declared them as terrorists. Would the Americans want to go visit, the middle of Al-Qaeda Central, right? So right now, what we're witnessing, especially on social media, it highlights the level of control and power the cartels have in Mexico. They're blowing up buses. They're shutting down roads. There's
blowing up planes.
Up to 20 states.
We're setting them on fire.
They're burning buildings, right? So, yeah, it's very dangerous in there. LJ, I feel confident, though, with our State Department professionalism.
I saw one video where they said they were going to start going in people's houses and just randomly taking people out.
With the warnings, the communication is going out all over the social media. I think that they're going to be fine. It's just isolated, it appears. I've gotten some reporting that it's kind of like leveled off a little bit. I hope that's true. But, again, you can't go into the middle of an area where terrorists are. It's not safe in certain areas. So, there's gunfire, there's panic in the streets. They were running on to the airport tarmac yesterday. Yeah. So let's hope and let's pray that the people can get out of there and get home. And so, it's just very dangerous. But let's not downplay the Americans that are in danger today, because we had millions of unknown people coming into this country, ghost criminals all over this place. So we have a big
Never heard
issue.
that word
We
before.
Continue to fight
ghost
hard.
criminal.
There's a lot of heat going on when it comes to these narco terrorists. So any region that is a central location for these terrorists, Americans should be on high alert. We're not trying to make people fearful, but this is exactly what's happened there. They should take your warning, heed that warning. Thanks, Derek.
Is something wrong with his glasses? One eye is bigger than the other in those glasses. I think he's got 2 different lenses in there. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of times you do have 2 different lenses, but yeah, I think he does. Because he don't normally look like that.
Just watch the videos on social media and you'll see how dangerous it is.
That's exactly right. Thanks, Derek.
I'm Steve Goosey.
Oh, my God. Yo. I can't show all the devastation that's going on down there. Other channels take that risk. News channels, though, if they're quote unquote legit news channels, they're allowed to show it. It's what they're allowed to do at YouTube. But yeah, so just go to Twitter. You're gonna see plenty of it. There's plenty of it on YouTube right now. I feel bad for those people out there. That's sad. That's really sad. And I'm not talking about just the Americans. I mean, they're wreaking havoc out there. And it's Mexican people dying. It's Americans in trouble out there. I probably, I thought about visiting. I knew someone that, well, I know them, and they told me about an experience they had, and when I tell you horrifying, yeah. So it's just like, and they always tell you when you go down there, do not leave the resort. Do not leave the resort. You probably stick out like a sore thumb. And criminals probably target tourists. So post your comments down below. Let me know if you know any more about this. But man, I did not expect all this. And then they might be doing something with Iran. Saw something saying Trump might do the initial strike. See, remember when I told y'all when he was on the campaign trail, and he was talking about he never got us into no new wars and stuff, and I was like, yeah, well, I hope that happens this term if he gets elected too. Okay, and I told y'all I had a bad feeling. I would that something is going to happen. Like I figured if Kamala got in, that we were definitely going to get into something. Period. Like I had no doubt about it. But with him, I was hoping we wouldn't be getting into nothing. And I said either something's going to happen or somebody's going to force his hand. Something is going to happen. And if you're kind of the thought process that I've had the past few years, it does feel like the left wing and the right wing are on the same bird. It's like the Matrix Reloaded. Merovingian said, choice is an illusion given to those without power by those with power. So it don't matter who's the face of the government. Whoever's pulling the strings is going to get done what they want to get done. And we have a plan for getting it done the left's way, and we have a plan for getting it done the right's way. That's why I don't trust either side. I don't trust either side. Okay? I'm a conservative person, but I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't call myself an independent. I'm just a dude watching this mayhem unfold, just trying to live a peaceful life and be a good human being. That's what I'm trying to do. A lot of y'all think it's the end times. I don't know. And reading like, oh, the Bible, oh, prophecy. They've been saying that since Hitler. As a matter of fact, since before Hitler, they've been saying it's the end times. And maybe this whole stretch of time since the Lord was resurrected has been the end times. I've heard it talked about that way. But what usually happens is something crazy happens on the earth. And at that point in time, people are rushing to church. People are scared. And people say it's the end times. People keep saying, get yourself right. And then nothing happens. Every single time. And I say that to say this. You don't know when he's coming back. You don't know. You don't know. Don't try to pinpoint it. Don't say it's going to be around now. Don't say, you don't know. You can say it's the end times. That's fine. You can say it's the last days. That's fine. But every time something crazy happens, people are like, better get yourself right. People always do that. And like I said, like, speaking with teachers and different stuff, over time of me growing up, like one of the major ones, like, because they thought Hitler was the Antichrist. Like they really thought like, yo, Armageddon, yo, it's happening. Like it's Get yourself right. It's over. Like, there were people that thought they was going to heaven and the rapture was coming. They were selling their property. Like, a lot of stuff was going on around that time, and the time came and went. And I remember when the Twin Towers were hit, everybody was running to church scared. I remember that. I was kind of one of them. I was like, let me see what they talking about this. Let me just see, Went to a couple services to see what they were talking about, prophecy-wise and stuff like that. And time came and went, and, and here we are all these years later, all this other craziness that has happened in the world, and nothing has happened. So I just try to stay right as much as possible. I've already repented from my sins, already speak to the Creator every single day. Try to be the best person I can be. And when he comes, he comes. You know what I'm saying? All right. 10 million subscribers.